Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about all the players that we all should keep an eye on for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers preseason Week 1 matchup versus the Cincinnati Bengals. If you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe. If you do like these type of pre-game week videos, go ahead and hit the like button and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section down below who you are going to be keeping an eye on in this preseason Week 1 game. A couple of things to announce. I will be doing a live stream watch-along reaction to these preseason games, so it's no different than what we do in the regular season, so stay tuned for that. It'll be on Saturday. We'll all be hanging out watching the game together. And then secondly, I don't know if you guys have heard, but come November 14th, the Washington football team versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I will be a guest at the Cannon Fire Watch Party hosted by Evan Wanish and Rhett Matthew over at the Cannon Fire podcast. If you guys want some more information about that, it'll be down in the comments section down below. If you guys are interested in going, hey, go ahead and put that in the comments section as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of these players. The first person that I want to talk about is going to be Ryan Succop. And we've talked about Ryan Succop a little bit throughout this offseason because there have been some days where Succop, he's been great. He's been nailing all of his kicks. Nobody's worried about anything. And then there have been other days where it does kind of maybe have one small nugget of worry in the pit of our souls, right? Like he'll miss half of his kicks or more than half of his kicks, and everybody sits there and goes, what the heck is going on? Now, I am still in the camp of a lot of people who are saying, hey, Ryan Succop, he had such a great year last year. I am still putting my faith and trust in him. And I'm wholeheartedly in that camp. I'm going in with that mindset. But still, I want to see continuity. I want to see continuation of good play, momentum, building up for himself. And I just want to see him make his kicks to give me more peace of mind, right? Like, it's so tricky with kickers sometimes. Even the best kickers in the league can go through stretches where they miss kicks. You never know. So with Succop, I'm still very confident that he will be a good kicker for this team. I just want to see it more, man. I just want to see more continuity with that. You can throw Jose Borregales in there as well, the backup kicker, because, man, that guy's had a really good camp. He's been making a lot of his kicks, even 59, 60-yard field goals. He's been able to sink through the uprights. So yeah, just pay attention to both of them. I don't know who's going to be getting more playing time. It might even be a situation where we don't see Succop at all. Who knows? We might just see Jose Borregales. Regardless, pay attention to the kickers. If Succop does get out there, let's hope that he can continue to build good momentum in his favor rather than bad momentum. Next player I think we should all keep an eye on is going to be Jalen Darden. This guy has had an absolutely phenomenal offseason. I mean, you name it, he has done it. His route running's been sharp. His speed has been great. He's been beating every single cornerback on this roster from top all the way down to the bottom, from starter to backup, you name it. Jalen Darden has been able to beat them with or without pads, which that's the kind of the big first hurdle that a lot of people were worried about was, hey, Jalen Darden, is he going to disappear when the pads come on like we've seen with other wide receivers in the past? Was not the case. But the one thing that Jalen Darden is still struggling with is catching. He is getting better, I think. I think he's certainly come a long way here in the couple of weeks he's been in training camp, and I think his hands are improving. I know he can catch the football. We all know this. He's an overall great wide receiver. And one of the reasons I have him on this list is let's see if he can improve his hands, in live action football and whatnot, because that is going to create some more nerves as well. But the second thing I want to pay attention to with Jalen Darden is how is he going to do against other teams' cornerbacks? This is going to be live action, man. This is going to be going up against the Bengals cornerbacks, which I know some people may be like, oh, but it's the Cincinnati Bengals. It's still another team. You get used to going up against the same guys week in and week out for a couple of months there. Going up against another guy on a different team can be a bit of a eye-opening experience, you know? He might get the better of you in a couple of situations when you kind of come in maybe as complacent or something along those lines. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's going to be interesting to see how Jalen Darden does against opposing cornerbacks. Will he maybe shrink away a little bit because he's not used to going up against those guys, or will he just go ahead and decimate them like he's been doing with everybody else? I'm kind of leaning more towards on the decimation part, but again, we'll have to wait and see. That's why you want to keep an eye on him. The third guy I have going in to keep an eye on is going to be Kyle Trask, who overall Kyle Trask has been getting better and better as training camp has gone on. I think he is genuinely improving as the days, grind on, and the guy's getting way better with his decision making, his skittishness in the pocket, his arm, like you name it, he's overall been getting better. I'm not seeing him throw really any interceptions. I haven't seen him throw interceptions in the past 2 days of practice. He's not making bad decisions. He's not just chucking it up there and hoping everything works out. He's been very, very solid overall as training camp has progressed. And again, I don't know how much playing time Kyle Trask is going to get. He could get a whole second half to himself. He could get the fourth quarter to himself. Who knows? But I really do think they want to give Trask a lot of live action reps, really see what he can do against opposing teams. And you know what? I do think Kyle Trask will do pretty decent. I'm not 100% sure he has command of the offense yet. It's a hard playbook to remember. But overall, I think he has gotten to the point now, and he's progressed enough where I think he can put out a very solid showing against the Cincinnati Bengals, and that is what I'm going to be looking out for. Next, guys, we have Giovani Bernard and Keshawn Vaughn. A little bit of a cheating thing here. We're having two players, but I think they're both important. So, in the case of Keshawn Vaughn, let's see how he grows. He said he's been working on his pass catching, his pass blocking, and he's in a little bit of a running back limbo right now, right? Because you have Ronald Jones, you have Leonard Fournette. Those guys are obviously the established starters. And then you have Keshawn Vaughn, then you have Giovani Bernard as a 3-down catching back, and then you have Giovani Bernard. So it's like, what? And I think that overall it's going to be a very important thing to see how the young running back grows, progresses, works on all the things that he said he's been working on. I want Keshawn Vaughn to go out there and have like an 80-yard game or something. I don't know if he'll get that much playing time, but I do expect him to get a great deal of playing time with a lot of the backups. Him, Troy Pope, CJ Prosise. I mean, I'd expect Vaughn to be out there a great amount. So let's see how the young guy does and continues to grow as a running back. And then Giovani Bernard, hey, this is technically a revenge game, right? We'll see how he does. He's probably not going to be out there long, but at least we're getting Giovani Bernard's revenge game out of the way early, right? He's been doing great as a pass catcher, as a pass blocker. I honestly don't know if we're going to see a ton of Giovani Bernard because they might consider him as a starter. But overall, it's just going to be exciting to see a guy that there's been so much hype behind in his first game with the Buccaneers. I mean, he'll probably work a lot with Blaine Gabbert and maybe even Ryan Griffin a little bit. But I know he's going to be out there with Tom Brady at least a little bit, and that's going to be fun to see that connection start off. Absolutely, it's going to be fun to see. Finally, guys, the last couple of guys I have to mention are all middle linebackers, and it's KJ Britt, Grant Stuard, and Joe Jones. These guys are all still competing for that fourth linebacker spot, maybe a fifth one if they decide to keep 5. And I think a lot of this might come down to special teams. So who's going to pop off on special teams? Grant Stuard, he's already a great special teams player, as is Joe Jones and KJ Britt. All of these guys can do that work in special teams. So who's going to break away from the pack? Who's going to show up in game time? That's what really is going to matter. KJ Britt and Grant Stuard, I think, have had good off seasons so far. They've definitely done a lot of gritty work, in coverage and in tackling and whatnot, and they've made the plays that they, really need to go out there and make. So they've had, a lot of momentum in their favor. Joe Jones, we haven't mentioned him a ton. He hasn't popped off the page or anything, but he still has a pedigree as a strong special teams player. Let's see how far that carries him now that we're getting into actual game time situations. I still think really for that one spot at least, it's anybody's game as to who can show up and start making some plays. But at the very least, it's presenting yourself for other NFL teams as well, practice squad spots, all these other different types of things for all three of these guys So really, let's see who breaks away from the pack in that middle linebacker spot, and let's see who starts to do some good work, especially in special teams, I think is where it's going to be important. But guys, that's kind of it. That's all I've got for this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section down below. What do you think about all the players that I mentioned, the points that I made about each player, and what are some of the guys that you all are going to be keeping an eye on in this upcoming preseason game? Again, leave me your thoughts. Again, don't forget that I will be doing a live stream this Saturday to watch the game. Hope y'all tune in for that. And don't forget, down in the comments section, I will have more info for the Cannon Fire watch party, which I will be a guest at. But again, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.